Hey guys, welcome back to another Farm Fact Friday. Always a pleasure to be here, and I've got a guest today. If you have guessed it already, we're going to talk about hogs, everything about hogs. If you've been with us since towards the beginning, we talked about collectively this idea of cattle and that not all things that say moo are actually a cow. So I wanted to also talk to you a little bit about hogs and how they have different names as well, and it depends on whether they are a boy or a girl and what has happened in their life to give them a different title. So we've got some excitement going on in the barn, but hopefully you can still hear the message. So collectively they're called hogs, and when they're born they're either a boy or a girl, and all the girls are called gilts, and all the boys when they're born are called boars. Now the next designation depends on reproduction. So if a girl, which is a gilt, if she goes on to produce piglets, then she is a sow. As soon as she has babies or gets pregnant, she's a sow. And then as for the boys, if they go on to produce, they continue to be a boar. But if they are castrated, then they are called barrows. So any of the hogs that are gilts or barrows that have nothing to do with reproduction, those are your market hogs. Those are what go to the market to give us sausage and bacon and ham and pork chops. So anything that other white meats, those are your market hogs. So what I'm holding here is a gilt, and she will likely go on to be a sow. And if she doesn't do that, she'll be part of our market hogs. So let's talk a little bit about hogs and their characteristics in terms of the senses. Yeah. So they have terrible eyesight. Terrible. So they make up with this by having very powerful sense of smell. So that's really good. They also have really good memories. And the way you can tell this, what comes to mind for me is the county fair. And when there's a hog show, if these hogs come into the show arena for a showmanship class first, and they're let out to go back to their pen, and then they come back in for their market class, those pigs will go right to that exit gate because they remember how to get out and back to their pen. So pretty smart animals. The other thing is they are really loud, as you can attest to just a little bit ago. They can actually register at 130 decibels, and jet engines register at 120 decibels. So if your ears are ringing after you leave a hog barn, there is good reason for that. So the next thing I want to do is share one story and two things that we may say, or you might have heard someone say, that maybe aren't fully the truth. Let's see if I can. Okay, you're okay. Okay, you're fine. So the first one is a quick little story about bringing home the bacon. And this little story comes from the 12th century in England at a church. If a man could come to the church and honestly say that he had not been in a fight with his wife over the course of a year, the church would award him a side of bacon. So that's the idea of bringing home the bacon. And bacon is a huge industry. 2 billion pounds of bacon are produced annually. So farmers are definitely providing all of those pounds. So people like bacon. The other two things let's talk about. One is the comment that people might make of, "I'm sweating like a hog." That's me right now, sweating like a hog, holding this hog. But that's not true, because hogs actually don't have many sweat glands at all. They rely on mud to keep them cool. So sweating like a hog is not a valid statement. The other thing you may have said as a parent, or a parent may have said to you as a child, is your room looks like a pigsty. Well, guess what? You should say to your parent, thank you for the compliments, and then follow it up with, pigs are actually very tidy and naturally organized. They are able to differentiate where to do their business and where to go to sleep. So keeping their sleeping area very dry. So if your parents tell you that your room looks like a pigsty, you can say thank you, but don't end it there. Please explain to them what you mean by thank you and that that is actually a compliment. So with that, I'm sweating, not like a hog, just like a person holding a hog. I hope you've enjoyed today's Farm Fact Friday. Have a great rest of your day, a wonderful weekend, and we will check you back next week. Take care.